a day of reflection. No, don't look down. This is up to you guys to remind me of rule number 1 of modded Minecraft. Everybody repeat after me. What's rule number 1? Don't be a bot. Easy, right? We left off. Tube was being a bot. Remember I had drawers? Boom, boom. Pusher upgrades. I'm like, this will be simple. Guess what doesn't work? You can't do a double recipe in a basin using pusher upgrades. So I had to move all this stuff and rearrange it all. And now I'm feeding through chutes into the basin the double-digit recipes. Make a sense? Where we left off, right? That was number 1, don't be a bot. Number 2, don't be a bot tube, was over here, where I started this whole mess. Remember a couple episodes back? I built this, and then I was like, yeah, cool. That'll make this. Boom, it'll go in this box. Well, guess what this didn't make? These right here. Because this recipe has to be repeated. Where's it at? Where's it at? Give me this. Boom. Boom. Right here at the bottom of the screen. And nobody pointed this out to me. You're all fired, by the way. I don't want to hear anything. No severance pay. No bologna sandwich for lunch. You get nothing. Repeat sequence 2 times. Don't be a bot. Copy? So guess what Tube had to do? Come up with a solution, because I wasn't rebuilding all this. And the solution is this right here. It goes by, it does the sequence, and it turns into this guy right here. Notice how it says 4 of 8 steps. So in that funnel right here that feeds an item vault, I have a filter. And it has that piece of spec in there. And on the filter, it says this. Respect data. Allow this guy. Boom. Okay? They get pulled off the belt before they go into the basin. Through the item vault. Into this box. Back out. Boom. And then when it turns into this Arcane Crystal, it gets smushed into the Arcane Crystal block. And we're still limiting this at 18 pieces. And another thing I had to change that was an oversight by me and you guys, and that's why you're fired, by the way, is this right here. I had 2 splitters here. We were taking out the 18 that we always need, right? Going over there to make the Arcane Crystal block to keep this thing functioning. And I had another splitter here that was pulling out the rest, 32. I've since changed that because I overlooked a simple thing right here. Boom, we look at the recipe for time in a bottle. The whole reason why we're trying to accomplish this chapter is we need more of them specs. And we need 1 to make another Arcane Crystal. And we need another 1 or more of them to make Arcane Gold Nuggets. So that we can do this whole process right here. This doesn't look like fun, by the way. And we're going to have... So we had 32 here and 18 here. So when I change this to 27 to keep the 3 dusts that we need to keep all this running, we're left with 5. So I'm pulling 5 out of this smart chute. Boom, it goes into, you'll never guess, a drawer controller. And that goes over here. Boom, right here, this box. And then here, I'm pulling out 45 through a smart chute. They go into this box. When 45 are in here, boom, they get pulled out into here. 9 of them go this way to make Arcane Gold, which is turned into Arcane Gold Nuggets. The other 36 of them get pulled out this way to make the Arcane Crystal. And I did the same thing here. Boop, boop, boop. Right? Filter. Item vault. Box. REL essence. REL essence. Stamper. Stamper. It repeats this process twice. And then it gets sent into this box right here. And the reason why I had to split them in that fashion is because if we go back here and look at this time in a bottle recipe one last time, probably never last time, but we need 2 arcane gold nuggets and 1 of these per rotation of this recipe, right? So splitting it that way at the end, where am I at? Over here. Boom, 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 right? 36 and 9. 9 turn into an arcane gold ingot over here, and we're doing this the same way that we did over there, pretty much. Meaning I have these things being sent into here with a pusher upgrade, and then the one thing that I want to limit is the arcane crystal, which is right here. Boom, the dust goes in here, and it makes Munda butter dust. Then that goes into a drawer controller, and it goes over here. And this gets mixed with these nuggets that are pusher upgraded into the basin. When one of them's in there, boom, it'll drop in, and it makes the arcane gold ingot, which goes onto this belt, goes into a crafter, and then gets turned into nuggets. So splitting it this way will be net positive on arcane gold nuggets. We'll gain 1 nugget. We'll be rich every recipe rotation. Make sense? And I think now I have it to a point where I made up some of these Ultram, what the heck are those things called? These things right here. Pixie jars, which that's what I said I was going to start this episode with. But I had to do like, I don't know, 6-7 hours worth of Shakedown Breakdown to get this to a point where we can now proceed with the pixie jars. But I did some pixie jars by hand because I needed REL essence in this tank to test out my theory on whether this was actually going to work and make the arcane obelisks that we need to keep this whole deal running. And this part works phenomenal. Now that the Shakedown Breakdown has occurred, and don't think you guys are off the hook for this whole spectacle, because you're not. You're still fired. And I would fire this up right now, but we're not at the stage where it'll fully automate, so we really can't. Just to show you guys that it works and how proud I am. 3 pieces going here, right? We're taking 2 of them, boom, boom, and we're using them to make Munda butter dust for that, and to make the arcane gold over here for that. Right? To keep this whole obelisk automation running. And the last piece we're not using yet. And we need to use that to make these Ultram jars. And I think what I'm going to do, because it's terrible for me to play while recording right now, and my FPS is absolutely trash. So I'm going to walk through this process with you guys. It starts with a soul, right? And then we need these Ultram jars. Boom. This guy right here that we made a couple episodes ago a bunch of. You need that special wood from the dark forest that I forget the name of right now. That's hollow. That stuff with glass. Boom, you get the jar. And if you take the soul and you haunt it, boom, you get a dark soul. Okay? And then if we take the dark soul and we go like this. Over here I have just a deployer set up for random things. Arcane Crystal Dust, which this is that extra piece that I was just talking about, gets deployed onto that. And then you get this, a corrupted pixie. And then you take the Ultram jar. It has to be placed in the world to do this, I think. And then hit it, deployer, holding this guy, boom, hits it. You get this, the Ultram jar, right? Break that. And then this, I'm pretty sure the last step of this was just wash this. Yes, boom. Take this guy and wash it. You end up with what we're after. Can I have that, please? Ultram jar. And then if we look at the uses on this, you run it over top of an item drain, and you get the REL essence. And I think what my game plan is, as of right now, it's going to be to set up an automation to get these. We got the tank that's going to store the REL essence downstairs, because we also need to take some of the glass that we're making down here and use this REL essence to make these things, REL bottles. So once I get this full operation rocking, we need these empty vials. They're not vials. Which is ghostly glass, which is more soul beads and glass to make these things. So we need to set up an automation for them later down the line. But for right now, this is where I want to end. Boom, that goes in there, it rolls across the drawer. You get your jar back, and that gets pumped into this tank right here. We now have 6.99 buckets. That wasn't planned. And one last change that I didn't mention and forgot to mention while recording that was this right here. Originally, I was like, oh, we'll just take boom, boom, andesite, and it'll pull out one on each depot at a time. That doesn't work either. So I had to change this, limit these to 1 and 1 on that filter. 2 are going to be placed in this box, and I'm controlling that right here. This smart chute pulls out of the basin, puts them into a box right here. Boom. And when this box has 2 pieces in there, which is limited through this smart chute, they get pulled out of this box into a storage controller, and that feeds this guy 2 at a time. 1 goes here, and 1 goes here. You dig? And what I think I'm going to do, because this episode is getting a little long in the tooth, is we're going to fire this thing up for a temporary thing, because we got 6.99 buckets in here, and I can show you that it work. Yes? Let's do it. A funnel goes right here. Boom. They go through there. They do their thing, right? We're going to watch patiently. Boom. Piece goes in there. And when 9 pieces are in there of the Arcane Crystal, it'll get stomped. Boom. 1 goes in the box. We need 9 more pieces. It's beautiful, isn't it? Freaking beautiful. Boom. They go there. Boom. Turn it into the thing. They're doing the thing. Boom. Boom. Are you excited? Because I am. 1's up there. It's making arcane gold. Brr, hear it? Boom. Grabs it. Puts it in there. He crafted. He grabs that. Puts it back. All the stuff goes back here to keep the loop flowing. You dig? Because I do. It freaking works. Amazing. Tube. It's awesome. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Have peace. 3, 2, 1. You're gone. System shut off. Because we're going to run out of REL essence. But you get the picture. Boom. Crystal Obelisk breaks. Goes through here. 50 pieces. 50 specs. And we're not using this last one, so it's going to make more arcane gold or something at this point. But that's okay. We know that this whole operation is functional at this point. And that is what's important.